everybody, and welcome inside the Pope Activity Center on the campus of Piedmont International University, where we get set for tonight's men's basketball game. It's your Piedmont Bruins at 7-8 on the season, looking to get to 500 under head coach Josh Howard as they take on the Owls from Warren Wilson College, boasting one of the top scorers in the nation at this level in number 23, Jordan Gant. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Shook here at courtside at the Pope Activity Center as the Bruins look to make it 2 straight here in 2019, coming off their win last week over Trinity Baptist College. They were supposed to play in a tournament up in Virginia over the weekend, but that was canceled due to the cold weather and the threat of the ice storm. So the Bruins playing for the first time in just a little bit under a week now, coming off that win over Trinity Baptist. A lot of new names on the roster today. We'll get you some of those as we move through the evening. But again, the main problem tonight for the Bruins on the other side of the court is going to be Jordan Gant for the Owls, averaging just under 24 points a game for the season is the 5'11 junior. Gant, this is the second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Bruins won the first game against Warren Wilson at their place earlier on this season fairly handily in a game in which Tamir Glenn led the way with 24 points in the win for the Bruins back in early November. So that was a big win for the Bruins. Overall in the series, though, the Owls set school records last year for points in a single game against the Bruins when they put up 114 points against this team in the first meeting of the season. The second game of the season was much more hotly contested, an 83-79 win for the Owls, but both games very, very competitive, especially going into the early game earlier on this season. So we're just about ready. It's the Bruins and the Owls, second meeting of the season. And now to get you started, we send it over to our PA announcer, Matt Malin.
Welcome to the Pope Activity Center here on the campus of Piedmont International University for tonight's matchup between the Warren Wilson College Owls and your Piedmont Bruins. At this time, we ask that you please rise. Men, remove your caps for the prayer and the singing of the national anthem. Let's pray. Father God, we come to you yet again, thankful and full of your love. Thank you for the grace that you give us each and every single day and that you know each and every single moment of our lives. We turn now to this moment in this game of basketball and ask that your hand of protection would be over each and one of these men and that your name would be glorified and honored. In your name, amen. Now for the starting lineups for the visiting Warren Wilson College Owls. Junior, number 4, Justin Storr. Freshman, number 15, Nicholas McDonald. Freshman, number 20, Logan Neff. Junior, number 23, Jordan Gant. Junior, number 24, Jaquan Lockhart. And now for the starting lineups for your Piedmont Bruins. Standing at 6 foot tall, junior, number 1, Tamir Glenn. Standing at 6'5", sophomore, number 3, Kendall Oliver. Standing 6'6" freshman number 5, China Jones. Standing 6'1", freshman number 12, Robert Parks. And 6'1", senior number 32, Colton Bishop.
So there you have it, the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. One more time, first for the Bruins, 7-8 on the season under head coach Josh Howard, riding a one-game winning streak from back on the 10th, the win over Trinity Baptist. The starting lineup the same as it was in that game last Thursday. Number 1, Tamir Glenn, the 6-foot junior in the lineup, alongside number 3, Kendall Oliver, the 6'5 junior. Number 5, China Jones, the 6'6 freshman. Number 12, Robert Parks, had one of his best games of the season against Trinity Baptist. The 6'1 freshman also in the lineup alongside the lone senior in the lineup today, number 32, Colton Bishop. On the other side for the Owls today, 7-10 on the season under head coach Anthony Behringer, coming off a loss back on the 12th to Apprentice University. Number 4, Justin Storr in the lineup alongside number 15, Nicholas McDonald. Number 20, Logan Neff. Number 23, Jordan Gant, who we're going to talk about a lot in this broadcast. And number 24, Jaquan Lockhart. The Owls are in the road navy blue uniforms in the white trim, moving from left to right across your radio dial, computer screen, smartphone, tablet, whatever you're using to access today's broadcast on the Bruins Sports Network. The Bruins in the home whites, trimmed in the Carolina powder blue and the gray, moving from right to left in this opening half of play. The officials give us the all clear. Kendall Oliver set to jump it up with Lockhart. The tap is up in the air. It's won by the Owls, and they'll have the opening possession. So the Owls moving from left to right with the basketball as Storr lobs it in the corner, trying to get it for Gant, but the pass intercepted by Tamir Glenn, and a quick turnover for the Owls. And now the Bruins will get their first opportunity with the basketball, with Colton Bishop handling it on the far wing. Bishop trying to get it inside for Oliver, makes a tough catch inside and lays it in, does Kendall Oliver. So the Bruins break the scoring drought, or scoring ice I should say, is driving it into the lane. Little floater from in tight is good for Justin Storr, ties the game at 2. The Owls are an up-tempo team averaging over 90 points a game this season, so expect a lot of scoring in this one as Tamir Glenn drives the lane, got his shot blocked, but also got knocked to the deck by Jaquan Lockhart. That'll be a foul on the Owls, and Tamir Glenn will get himself to the free throw line. First on Lockhart and the first on the team. And Tamir Glenn, who we mentioned had a big game in the first time these two teams saw each other, had 24 points in the Bruins win, their first ever over Warren Wilson at the stripe. Misses his first free throw. And we told you some new names on the roster tonight that we expect to see throughout the evening, including a little infusion of size that the Bruins sorely needed. Second free throw is good for Tamir. 3-2 in favor of the Bruins. Just about a minute gone by in this opening half. Inside for Lockhart, the kick into the corner, an open 3 on the way, bounces halfway down and pops out from Logan Neff, and the rebound to the Bruins. Tamir Glenn up the near sideline with a big-time crossover. Gets all the way to the rim, missed the layup though. In tight, the rebound taken away underneath the basket by Jones. Jones can't make the push shot inside. Lost the basketball going up. It's tipped out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Bruins, but a couple of good looks in tight. Bruins not able to convert. Parks will throw it in on the baseline, just off to the right of the basket. Throws it in up top for Glenn. Tamir at the top, tries to get it inside. A little bit of miscommunication that time with China Jones not having his hands up, and Coach Howard exasperated at the early mistake from Jones. Back the other direction, Owls trying to get it quickly into the lane as Storr drops it off underneath for Lockhart, misses a little turnaround hook shot in the lane, and the rebound taken away by the Bruins. China Jones into the corner for Oliver. Now to the top for Colton Bishop. Bishop back for Tamir Glenn, thought about the 3, drives the lane, behind the back pass on the baseline. The jumper on the way is an air ball, and a weak side rebound taken away by the Owls. Up the near sideline comes Gant. Gant with a left-hand dribble, swings through the lane, steps back beyond the three-point line and launches a 3 and knocks it down. They're going to say 2 on that instead of 3. So just a 2 to make it 4-3, but that's the first basket of the game for Gant, who we mentioned again, averages just under 24 points a game for this Owls team, a really prolific scorer. So it's 4-3 in favor of the Owls with 17:55 to play in this opening half. Inside, a nice pass from Bishop. Jones can't finish through traffic, and then in the rebounding action, a foul is going to be whistled against China Jones, his first and the team first. Storr will bring it up against a little bit of full court pressure from the Bruins as Gant makes the catch on the near wing. Trap coming on him. He gets rid of it into the corner. Neff thought about the three, gets it inside for Lockhart, kicks it back to the top into the hands of McDonald, who walked with it. Good job by the Bruins that time, speeding up the Owls a little bit offensively and forcing the turnover. Now the Bruins will get it back, trailing by a point with 17:35 left to play in this opening half. Double screen at the top as Tamir Glenn elects to go to the right around the screen of China Jones. Out on that far wing, hands it off in the corner for Bishop. And now Bishop waving off the help, trying to clear a little bit of space. Picks up his dribble, comes back to the top for Oliver. Oliver spins his way into the lane with 10 to shoot, hands it back for Bishop, puts up the floater. It bounces halfway down and out, and the rebound taken away by the Owls. Storr stepping in, trying to take that charge. Might have impacted that shot by Bishop as Storr brings it into the front court for the Owls. Around the screen from Lockhart, moves it into the corner. Thought about the three, instead drives the baseline. Little layup is up and through, but a charge. So McDonald whistled for the charge. Good job by Kendall Oliver getting over there and setting his feet and taking the charge. The officials discuss it and they'll stick with it. So the offensive foul gives the ball back over to the Bruins. And now our officials will have a quick word with Coach Anthony Behringer for the Owls, who wants an explanation about how that was a charge and not a blocking foul. Nevertheless, the call will stand as Parks will bring it up for the Bruins. Hands it off out front for Glenn. Little zone defense on this trip for the Bruins as Bishop thought about the three. Moves it onto the wing for Parks, nearly lost it, but able to save it. Now Bishop waiting for the screen. Uses it from Jones, steps behind it. Skip pass into the near corner, an open three on the way for Oliver, hits off the front of the rim. China Jones taps the rebound, tried to tap it to himself, but McDonald pulls it down for the Owls. McDonald in a double team, trying to get rid of it for Lockhart, but it's stolen away. Out in front of the crowd is China Jones, having trouble finding the handle, just has to save it in the corner. And now Parks picks up his dribble, comes back to the top for Bishop. Up fakes the three, drives the lane into the corner for Oliver, drives the baseline. Oliver gets tied up inside and a whistle and a foul. Nicholas McDonald picks up the foul. That's his second and the team third. So at the free throw line, after both teams have gone a little bit of a dry spell offensively, Kendall Oliver trying to give the Bruins the lead with 16:10 to play in the opening half. Going to get our first substitutions of the game as well, as Oliver misses the first free throw off to the right. Andrew Dalton into the game for the first time for the Owls, as is number 10, Brent Davis. Antoine Robinson and Justin Poitras check in for the Bruins, replacing Parks and China Jones. Oliver's got one more at the stripe. Second free throw on the way is good. So Oliver has three in the game, 3 of the 4 for the Bruins. We're tied at 4. Just about 4 minutes into the ball game. A little bit of a slower pace than you expected with this Owls team, again, averaging better than 90 points a game. Storr with a hesitation dribble, hands it off on the wing for Gant. Gant drives the lane, little step back jumper, knocks it in. Jordan Gant, 2 shots and 2 baskets for the very, very talented junior for this team. Has 4 of their 6 points, and they lead at 6-4. Out front with the basketball is Tamir Glenn. Moves it onto the wing for Bishop, drives the lane, skips it to the far side on the wing for Robinson. Back up top for Bishop. Bruins having a little bit of trouble finding holes in this zone for the Owls. Oliver's going to fire a 3 and knock it down. Maybe not the best shot for the Bruins, but it works for Oliver, who's got 6 of the 7 points in the game for the Bruins. Had to fire that one with the shot clock running down as Davis nearly throws it away. Gant picks it up at the free throw line, fires another jumper and knocks it in. So Gant with 6 early points hasn't missed from the field yet. And with 15 minutes even left to play in this half, it's 8-7. Tamir Glenn trying to answer with a 3, missed it well short. Poitras trying to chase down the rebound, but it's pulled away by the Owls and Brent Davis. Storr, nice lead ahead pass inside and a layup in transition by Andrew Dalton, and Coach Howard's going to call timeout. Check that, they're going to call the timeout called by the Owls. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here, but that transition basket by the Owls a moment ago, certainly not something Coach Howard's going to be happy about. As again, this is an up-tempo team that averages better than 90 points a game, but the Bruins have done a pretty good job for the most part of corralling them, just have not shot it well to this point and having some trouble finding holes in that zone for Warren Wilson, who leads at 10-7 with 14:45 left to play in this opening half. Kendall Oliver has 6 of the 7 points in the game for the Bruins. Jordan Gann has 6 of the 10 for the Owls. We know what Gant can do. And this Owls team does have 3 other players averaging in double figures, including Storr. Jeff Nolan into the game for the first time, one of those newcomers for the Bruins, along with Curtis Coleman. Coleman out there with Robinson, Glenn, Oliver, and Nolan. Robinson with the basketball at the top, thought about the 3, instead fires it for Glenn in the corner, gets it back and now gives it back to Glenn. Glenn drives the lane through traffic, puts it up off the window and lays it in. So Tamir Glenn brings the Bruins within a point at 10-9. 14:18 left to play in this first half. Far side of the floor, driving it into the corner. 3 on the way from Storr is no good. Off the front of the rim, good defense that time by the Bruins, and the rebound to Nolan. Back the other direction is Tamir Glenn. Glenn all the way to the rim. Layup is up and through for Tamir Glenn. Back-to-back hoops for Glenn, who's got 5 in the game, and the Bruins retake the lead at 11-10. Gant with the basketball at the top, steps into an open 3 and knocks it down. Going underneath those screens, probably not the best idea defensively for the Bruins, as Gant that time just stepped behind it and launched a 3. Long as it was very, very open. And again, a very potent scorer is Gant. He's got 9. And the Owls lead by 2 at 13-11. Tamir Glenn throws up a wild shot that's no good. It's going to be a blocking foul against the Owls. And Tamir Glenn's going to get himself to the free throw line and a chance to tie the game. 14th foul against the Owls, with 13:33 left to play in the half. So Glenn at the line is 1 for 2 tonight at the stripe, has 5 points in the early going, make it 6 now. Hashim Weston into the game for the first time for the Bruins, replacing Kendall Oliver. Owls make a sub as well as Trey Brown comes on for the first time. Owls a little bit shorthanded with 3 players not in uniform tonight, so playing with just 9 healthy players as Glenn hits the second free throw off the back of the rim. Bruins trailing by a point at 13-12. Owls trying to answer with a 3, comes off the front of the rim, nearly an offensive rebound, and it is pulled down by Dalton. Comes back to the top for Brown. Brown outside into the hands of Neff. Neff at the free throw line, jumper on the way off the back of the rim. Rebound tapped around, but it comes down to Glenn. 3-on-3 back the other way. Glenn will pull it out, spins around his defender Neff into the corner for Weston. Back to the top for Robinson. Robinson gets it back for Weston, puts up the floater, hits off the back of the rim, and the rebound for the Owls. Good looking shot that time for Weston, just couldn't put it down. Now Coleman stepping in, trying to take the charge, matched up against Brent Davis, but a blocking foul. Second foul against the Bruins, and the first against Coleman. Owls will inbound on the far sideline, just in front of the volleyball line. Dalton will throw it in. Ball comes into the hands of Trey Brown. Brown with the left-hand dribble, gets all the way around Coleman, all the way to the rim. Got the ball taken away from underneath him, though, by Nolan. Loose ball taken away by the Bruins. Weston into the lane, kicks it into the corner. Tamir Glenn open for 3, knocks it down. Tamir Glenn. Terrific find by Hashim Weston. Finds a wide open Tamir Glenn, trailing the break that time. Knocks down the 3. He's got 9, and the Bruins lead by 2 at 15-13. 12:25 left to play in this first half. Dalton with a basketball on that far wing, moves it into the corner for Brown to the top, and open 3 for Neff. Skips off the front of the rim, and the rebound to Glenn and the Bruins. Glenn ahead for Nolan. Nolan dribbles through traffic, got the ball knocked right back to him, shovels it for Coleman, and missed the layup in close. Loose ball comes all the way back out to the three-point line, where Tamir Glenn and the Bruins come up with it. And Coach Howard's going to put a halt to the proceedings. Wants to set something up offensively with 11:59 left to play in this first half. So it's a full timeout. We'll take it as well. 11:59 to play in the opening half. The Bruins on top by 2 at 15-13. Back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu. Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu.
Activity Center as we come out of the timeout. Antoine Robinson trying to run away from the trapping defense of the Owls. Picks up his dribble, lobs it in the corner for Coleman. Coleman's got room, pulls up at the free throw line. Jumper hits off the front of the rim. Owls with the miss, and now they've got numbers back the other way. 2-on-1, handed off for Davis. Davis's layup is no good, but a late call for a foul. It's going to be a blocking foul against the Bruins and Hashim Weston. Coach Howard does not like it. So to the stripe is going to go Brent Davis. Weston thought he was there. The officials disagree. So Davis at the line for two. First free throw is good. One more at the line for the 6'3" sophomore. That one hits off the front of the rim and drops in. Ties the game at 15. And now the Bruins back the other direction as Robinson and Coleman matched up in this 3-2 zone for the Owls. A little bit of a scramble and trap as they skip it to the near corner for Coleman. Thought about the three, drives the baseline. Shut off there, comes back to the top. Robinson, an open three, hits off the front of the rim. Rebound taken away by the Owls. Back the other direction comes Davis. Davis steps around Robinson and lays it in this time. 4 quick points out of the timeout for Brent Davis, and the Owls retake the lead at 17-15. Weston and Robinson at the top. Robinson staring at a double team into the corner for Coleman. Coleman lobs it back to the top for Robinson. Back for Coleman, gonna fire the three from the wing, hits off the front of the rim. Nolan taps the rebound up, but the Owls pull it away. Trey Brown leads it ahead again for Davis. Davis this time gets tied up underneath the basket. Nice job by Robinson tracking back defensively. Knocked the ball away from Davis. Stepped out of bounds as he was trying to pick up the loose ball, so the Owls will keep it, but a terrific job by Robinson getting back defensively. Jordan Gant back into the game for the Owls. Has 9 first half points already. Jaquan Lockhart with it in the corner on the far side to the top for Dalton. Now back for Storr. Storr back toward that midcourt stripe with 18 on the shot clock. Weston watching him closely. Weston trying to bump Storr off the basketball. Storr this time uses a screen from Lockhart. Drives the lane, shut off there, comes back to the top, gonna fire a three. It's off the front of the rim, long rebound. Coleman's got it for the Bruins. Coleman on the far wing into the corner for Weston. Weston to the top for Coleman. Pass is deflected, nearly stolen. But fortunately for the Bruins, Justin Storr is going to be whistled for the foul that time as he got up underneath Coleman on that attempt at the steal. Coleman nowhere to land, and so the foul whistled against Storr, the 5th against the Owls in the first half. As Colton Bishop and Tamir Glenn return, replacing Robinson and Weston. So the Bruins putting a little bit more ball handling on the floor as the Owls get more aggressive defensively. Coleman will throw it in with 10:08 left to play in this first half. Bruins trailing by 2 at 17-15. Tamir Glenn with the crossover dribble, got it poked away from behind. Storr takes it away for the Owls. Storr with a right-hand dribble up into the front court, up the near sideline. Pulls up for three on the wing, fires it off the back of the rim. Dalton's got the rebound on the weak side. Back outside, another three. This one again hits off the back of the rim, and Glenn's got the rebound for the Bruins. Tamir Glenn into the corner for Bishop. Bishop on the wing now comes back for Glenn. Reverse the ball onto the baseline. Trying to back his way in is China Jones. Jones, double team, gets it for Coleman. Coleman guarded closely by Gant, gets rid of it to the top for Glenn. Still 15 on the shot clock, so the Bruins don't need to rush here just yet. Double screen coming at the top on the baseline. Good cut by Coleman. Good layup on the reverse side. Good patient work by the Bruins offensively that time after their first couple of options were taken away. Dalton, they catch and shoot three from the near wing off the front of the rim. Rebound tapped around and pulled down by the Bruins. Colton Bishop wants to run back the other way, finds Tamir Glenn on the near wing, steps into a three, hits off the front of the rim this time. Jones up for the rebound for the Bruins and a fresh shot clock. Nice pass underneath for Justin Poitras. Poitras lays it in off the window, his first basket, and the Bruins retake the lead at 19-17 as we go back and forth. 9:13 left to play in the opening half. Gant with the basketball on the far wing to the top for Dalton. Now free throw line area jumper on the way is good for Jaquan Lockhart. Lockhart's first basket of the night. Ties the game at 19. Under 9 minutes to play in the half. Glenn and Coleman play catch side to side. Now moving on the baseline for Poitras. Back for Coleman, now to Glenn, onto the baseline, near side for Bishop. Attacks the rim, lays it up, no. Tip up, no. Jones has it for the Bruins underneath the basket, spins it off the window, that's no good, and the rebound taken away by Lockhart. The Owls back the other direction as Gant across the top of the key, moves it to the far wing, and open three is no good by Storr. Rebound taken away by the Bruins and Glenn. Colton Bishop up the near sideline, got in the air, nowhere to go, kicks it outside for Glenn, a three, that's no good, but a foul. Foul's going to be against Gant, who walks to the other end of the court, disgusted with himself. Tamir Glenn will be at the line for three. We've seen Tamir Glenn make an art form out of finding a way to get himself fouled on the beyond the three-point line. Made one at the end of the first half against Trinity Baptist as he knocks down the first. Just 2 of 4 at the line. Oliver and Parks return for the Bruins. Poitras and Coleman will sit as Glenn makes the first 2, has 1 more at the line. Owls make a couple of subs as well. That one hits off the front of the rim, and the rebound taken away by the Owls. Back the other direction, Storr with a jumper from 18 feet on the near wing, that's no good. Long rebound, Parks tracks it down for the Bruins. Hands it off for Tamir Glenn, drives around a defender, back outside Parks, near wing 3, halfway down and out. Rebound tapped around by Jones and Parks. Parks the last to touch it, I thought, but they'll say the last to touch it were the Owls. And so it'll be Bruin basketball. Good effort that time by the Bruins on the offensive glass, using their rare size advantage tonight, as they've gotten a number of second chance opportunities. That one partially the doing of China Jones, who tapped that rebound up in the first place. Glenn in the far corner moves it in for Parks. Fresh shot clock with 25 to shoot for the Bruins. Around a double screen at the top. Now comes back for Oliver. Over on the far wing for Glenn to the baseline. A jumper by Bishop is an air ball. Weak side rebound is tapped out of bounds. The officials look at each other, say the Owls were the last to touch it, and the Bruins will have it. 15 on the shot clock. 7:47 to play in the half. Jones with the basketball in the corner. Double team on the baseline. Gets it back for Bishop. Jones trying to repost himself down low, but a pushing foul. It's going to go against the Owls. Now a little bit of talking as well. Davis and Jones do a little bit of jawing after the foul is whistled on Davis. That should be the 7th team foul on the Owls, so that should be free throws for the Bruins. So it'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for China Jones. Couple of substitutions first, though, for the Owls. Andrew Dalton back into the game, as is Logan Neff. So Jones at the line. First free throw is up and good. First points of the night for the freshman, China Jones. Extends the Bruin lead to 3 at 22-19. Neither team's been able to gain any kind of separation to this point. Jones' second free throw is up and good, so a 4-point lead for the Bruins equals the largest for either side so far tonight at 23-19. 7:35 left to play in the first half. Gant handling the basketball at the top between the rings. Tries to drive it inside on Glenn. Good job by Tamir moving his feet, forcing Gant to get rid of it. Hands it off for Trey Brown. Brown matched up with Glenn now in a switch, doing a lot of dribbling, got the ball poked away, puts it up wildly off the window, and still somehow gets it to go down. Good job defensively by the Bruins that time. Brown just kind of bails himself out and able to push it up off the window and drop it in. 23-21, the Bruins on top as Glenn moves it into the corner for Bishop. Trying to get it down low for Jones. Instead, Bishop drives, clears some space in the middle of the lane, misses the push shot. Second chance opportunity, no good, but a foul. And Colton Bishop, frustrated with himself, will get himself to the free throw line. Bruins have done a good job attacking the rim after some ill-advised three-pointers early on. But the Bruins have really played downhill since about the 12-minute mark of this first half and are getting themselves to the free throw line consistently now. Poitras now with first points of the game for Bishop. Second free throw is no good. Parks the rebound, then throws it off of Dalton again. More offensive rebounding for the Bruins and more second chance opportunities. This time it's Parks making it happen, ripping that rebound away from Dalton and then throwing it off him to save the possession for the Bruins. Off the catch, Oliver steps inside the three-point line along two, rattles in. Kendall Oliver has been playing well at the start of 2019, has 8 first half points, and the Bruins have their largest lead at 26-21 with 6:40 to play in the half. Pass deflected at the top by Oliver, and then Oliver's going to be whistled for grabbing the jersey of Logan Neff. Oliver with an incredulous look on his face, but very clearly grabbed the jersey of Neff that time to try and prevent him from getting to that loose ball. Brown moves it into the corner near side. Gant will fire a three and knock it down. Jordan Gant again has not missed tonight. He is 5 for 5 from the field, has 12 points. I think the only thing that you can say about that is why aren't the Owls getting him the ball more at this point? 26-24, Bruins still on top. Middle of the lane for Parks, onto the baseline for Jones. Jones drives the lane and lays it off the window and in. First field goal for China Jones. He's got 4, trying to answer his Dalton. His jumper's well short. Rebounded Tamir Glenn for the Bruins up the far sideline. Onto the baseline now near side for Oliver. Oliver trying to get it for Jones, but the pass deflected. Storr trying to save it in bounds, but steps on the end line. Bruins will keep it, leading by 4, under 6 to play in the half. Parks will throw it in. Looking for some help, gets it in for Tamir Glenn. Catch and shoot, a long 3. Hits off the back of the rim, but the rebound right back for Bishop, who then throws it away. Stolen by Brown, lead ahead for Gant. Open 3 in transition, that one off the back of the rim. Rebound to the Bruins. Back the other direction is Oliver, and then Oliver is going to be whistled for a carry as he tried to put that ball back behind his back, but left it on his hip and took a couple of steps with him. Owls back the other direction as Brown across the lane, kicks it outside. Dalton's 3 is off the front of the rim. Rebound taken away underneath by the Owls and Logan Neff, and then Neff has the ball knocked out of his hands, but it's out of bounds off the Bruins. Hashim Weston into the game for the Bruins. As Dalton takes the inbounds pass, little turnaround push shot over the top of Jones, and the rebound to the Bruins. Weston finds Coleman, cutting inside, missed the layup in close though, and the rebound to Storr and the Owls. Storr with the left-hand dribble, gets all the way into the lane, puts up the jumper that's no good. The rebound off the back of the rim, taken away by Weston and the Bruins, who want to slow things down. 28-24, the Bruins on top with 5 minutes left to play. In what's been an up and down, entertaining first half, even with both teams shooting the ball relatively poorly. China Jones hits one off the back of the rim from 18 feet out. Rebound by Parks, the putback is no good. It comes right to Coleman, his little floater is good. You feel like if the Bruins could make some layups and some shots in close, they'd be way further ahead than they are. Leading by 6 though at 30-24. Far side of the floor, Martin with the basketball, sweeps across the lane, hands it off for Dalton. Drives around Oliver, puts up the floater and scores. Does Andrew Dalton. Drove right around China Jones, 30-26 is our score. Bruins still out in front. At the top is Weston, to the far side for Coleman. Coleman for Glenn to the near side, again for Weston against this zone defense for the Owls. Glenn drives the lane with the left hand, floater no good off the window. Jones has the miss, the putback won't stay down. He's got his own miss and then a reach-in foul against the Owls. Again, the Bruins just bullying the smaller Owls team underneath the basket right now. I'm not sure there's been another game this season that the Bruins have been the bigger team physically on the floor, and they have more than taken advantage of it tonight. Jones, Oliver, and Robert Parks all have, again, for lack of a better term, just bullied this smaller Owls team around the floor underneath the basket. And now Jones at the free throw line misses the first of two. The antithesis of that, though, is that the Bruins have struggled a bit at the free throw line tonight. One more at the line for China Jones as Jaquan Lockhart returns for the Owls. Second free throw bounces out, and the rebound to Parks again, though, for the Bruins. Parks picks up his dribble, gets it in the middle of the lane for Jones. Scoop shot, tries to spin it off the window, no. Got his own miss back, and this time it's knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bruins, though. Two more offensive rebounds, and Coach Howard gives a high five to Jones as he comes off the floor. Appreciates the rebounding effort. Jeff Nolan back into the game for the Bruins, by far the biggest player on the floor. Coleman throws it in for Tamir Glenn at the top. Glenn to the near side for Parks. Tried to get it on the baseline for Keont Jones, who checked into the game for the first time. Coleman, far side on the wing for three, knocks it down. First three-pointer of the game for Coleman. He's got 7. Back the other direction. Owls trying to answer with a 3. That's no good. Bruins now leading by 7 at 33-26. Coleman, a bounce pass to the near side. Glenn looking for a 3. That one off the back of the rim. Coleman tracks down the miss. Far side for Jones. Back for Glenn on the near side on the wing. Gets it in the lane for Nolan. Nolan trying to spin it behind his back onto the baseline for Parks. Tipped out of bounds as Poitras comes into the game. Nolan will sit. And we'll get a timeout as well. So it'll be a timeout for, I believe, Warren Wilson, with 3:21 left to play in this first half, and the Bruins on top 33-26. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. Back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. We give you glory, glory.
For tickets or more information, visit piedmontu.edu.
Back here at the Pope Activity Center in Winston-Salem with the Bruins on top 33-26 as we welcome you back to courtside with the Bruins on top of the Owls from Warren Wilson College. Hashim Weston to the free throw line for Tamir Glenn. Underneath for Justin Poitras, all alone, and he drops it in the basket. Nice job and good ball movement by the Bruins. Poitras now with 4 in the game, and the Bruins lead it by 9 at 35-26. Back the other direction, we're going to get a reach-in foul on Poitras, trying to deny the entry pass into Lockhart in the low post. Antoine Robinson returns for the Bruins. He'll replace Hashim Weston. Just the 4th team foul against the Bruins, so in no danger of putting the Owls at the free throw line. Still 2:59 to play in the half. Lockhart makes the catch in the corner on the baseline, comes back to the top for Storr. Storr matched up against Parks, tries to enter it in for Lockhart, and it's stolen away. Coleman got a piece of that ball, and then a reach-in foul. It's going to go against Storr as the Bruins had numbers the other way. I'm not sure Storr intended to give that foul, but it sort of unintentionally works out as a bonus for the Owls because that would have been a dunk the other way for the Bruins. And the Bruins have had their struggles at the free throw line, so it's actually a pretty solid tactical decision by the Owls there as they'll put Parks at the line for a pair. That's the 10th team foul against Warren Wilson. First free throw is good. First free throw of the game and the first point of the game for Parks, who has been a menace on the offensive glass for the Bruins in this game, despite being one of the smallest players on the floor. Second free throw rattles through as well. So the Bruins now have widened their lead 37-26 with 2:45 left to play in this first half. Trey Brown looking for somewhere to go with the basketball, gets it for Storr. Storr behind the screen, moves it into the wing on the far side of the floor, back up top, Storr a three, and he knocks it down. Justin Storr, second basket of the game for him, he's got 5. Cuts the deficit to 8 at 37-29. Coleman handling at the top for the Bruins. Near side of the floor for Robinson. Now up top Parks, and in the middle of that zone, kick out for Robinson, a three, knocks it down. Antoine Robinson on the good kick out pass by Coleman. Textbook offense by the Bruins that time against that zone defense, as Storr looking for a second three, and he knocks this one down as well. Same spot he made the last one, makes his second in a row. Cuts the deficit down to 8 at 40-32. Tamir Glenn trying to get it to the free throw line for Robinson. Couldn't get it there. Instead, Robinson pops up to the top. Robinson onto the wing, far side of the floor for Glenn. Glenn around the screen from Robinson for Parks. Parks looking for help, 7 on the shot clock. Tamir Glenn drives it on Storr. Nice drop-off pass underneath for Parks, and he lays it up and in. Terrific individual play that time by Tamir Glenn with the shot clock running down. Able to get around a couple of defenders, and a good cut along the baseline by Parks, and an easy layup, and now an air ball on the jumper by Lockhart. Bruins with a weak side rebound. Tamir Glenn around the screen, kicks it in the corner. Robinson looking for another three. That one off the front of the rim. Poitras taps the rebound. It's out in the open floor now. Taken away by the Owls. Back the other direction is Gant. Gant up that far sideline, dribbles into traffic, throws it off the official. Loose ball taken away by Tamir Glenn, goes up with the right hand. Misses the layup. Parks has the rebound. The putback is no good. And the loose ball taken away by the Owls. Back the other direction, a three by the Owls is good by Martin. First basket of the game by the 5'9" freshman Jacorian Martin. 30 seconds left to play in the half. Bruins lead has been cut to 7 at 42-35. A comedy of errors on that previous trip by both teams. And now the Bruins, with about a 5-second difference, game to shot clock. Coleman behind a screen, moves it into the corner. Glenn gets it back for Coleman, fires a three, knocks it down. Curtis Coleman, his second three-pointer of the half with 5 seconds left to play. Storr into the front court, dribbles around a defender, puts up a wild shot that's no good, and that'll be the end of the half. So the Bruins close the half with a big run. They've led it by as many as 11 in this first half. They finished the first half leading by 10. Curtis Coleman with that three-pointer at the end of that half sends the Bruins into the locker room with a 45-35 lead. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the Bruins halftime show. We'll give you some of the first half numbers and also take a look at what needs to happen in the second half for the Bruins to pick up win number 8 on the season. Back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
/concerts. That's piedmontu.edu/concerts. Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love
For tickets or more information, visit piedmontu.edu/concerts. That's piedmontu.edu/concerts. Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. We give you glory, glory.
For tickets or more information, visit piedmontu.edu/concerts. That's piedmontu.edu.
The NCCAA mission states, "We serve members by setting association standards, developing communications resources, providing regional and national competition, and partnering in outreach to our communities and the world." Bylaws, eligibility, statistics, and championships are all part of being an athletic association. Our services help propel intercollegiate athletics on and off campus. We intentionally place our student athletes and coaches in Christian service projects during championship events to answer the question, what would Christ do in these communities?
Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu.
The NCCAA mission states, "We are committed to equipping student athletes and coaches to make a positive impact for Christ." Equipping student athletes and coaches involves the creation and distribution of tools and resources needed for a particular purpose. We promote outreach and ministry for the enhancement of athletic competition with a Christian perspective. One tool is Game Plan for Life, a character initiative to promote the biblical characteristics of love, integrity, faith, and excellence. Equipping student athletes with a game plan will remain with them throughout their entire lives.
edu/concerts. Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. We give you glory, glory.
For tickets or more information, visit piedmontu.edu/concerts. That's piedmontu.
The NCCAA mission states, "We serve members by setting association standards, developing communications resources, providing regional and national competition, and partnering in outreach to our communities and the world." Bylaws, eligibility, statistics, and championships are all part of being an athletic association. Our services help propel intercollegiate athletics on and off campus. We intentionally place our student athletes and coaches in Christian service projects during championship events to answer the question, what would Christ do in these communities?
Back here at the Pope Activity Center in Winston-Salem on the campus of Piedmont International University, where the Bruins hold a 10-point lead at halftime over the Owls from Warren Wilson College. Dave Shook back here at courtside as we take a look at some of the first half numbers for the Bruins. 2 players in double figures in that opening half, led by Tamir Glenn, who finished with 11 first half points to lead everybody. Also in double figures, Curtis Coleman finishing with 10, including that three-pointer right at the end of the half. Good balance in the score sheet as well for the Bruins, with some other players in the scorebook. Kendall Oliver with 8 first half points. 3 players with 4 points apiece, including China Jones, Robert Parks, and Justin Poitras. And then Antoine Robinson also in the scorebook with 3. And then Colton Bishop was 1 of 2 at the free throw line for his lonely point to round out the 45 for the Bruins. On the other side for the Owls from Warren Wilson College, led by Jordan Gant in that first half, had 12 first half points, only missed 1 shot, but seemed like the Owls kind of forgot about him at times offensively, and so he did not get up as many shots as you figure he probably would for a guy of his caliber, averaging again almost 24 points a game. A couple of other players in the scorebook as well. Justin Storr with 8 first half points, 4 points apiece for Andrew Dalton and Brenton Davis. 3 points in the game for Jakari and Martin, and then 2 points to round out the scoring for the Owls for Trey Brown. Check that, Jaquan Lockhart also in the scorebook with 2 first half points for the Owls to account for their 35 points. Again, the Bruins on top 45-35. Couple of keys for the second half, and really for the Bruins, it's going to be about finishing their opportunities. They really bullied that team, the Owls team, in the first half on the offensive glass, picked up a number of second and third chance opportunities, but seemed like they didn't convert on a ton of them really until later in that first half, which allowed them to gain that separation. They've led by as many as 11, currently leading by 10 right now. You figure if they continue to really outwork the Owls on the glass and get some second chance opportunities and convert those, they're really going to pull away in this game and make this one a bit of a laugher. The other side of things is going to be on the defensive end. You want to see a little bit more attention to detail when it comes to defending certain players around the screens, including Jordan Gant on a couple of opportunities, or a couple of occasions rather. The Bruins going underneath the screens against Gant, who took the opportunity to step behind those and launch uncontested threes. And for a player of his caliber, that's just not going to be a winning strategy for the Bruins. Also want to see them keep the Owls out of the paint a little bit, force them to take some more contested, tough shots. And if they continue to do that, the Bruins will find a way to win this game and get out of here with win number 8 on the year. So that's a look at our second half keys, as well as some of the numbers from the first half, with the Bruins on top 45-35. Second half is on the way after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
edu/concerts. Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st, at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. We give you glory, glory.
For tickets or more information, visit piedmontu.edu/concerts. That's piedmontu.edu.
The NCCA mission states, "We are an association of Christ-centered collegiate institutions whose mission is to use athletic competition as an integral component of education, evangelism, and encouragement." The impact of the NCCAA has been felt for 50 years throughout the country and around the world. Encouraging mission trips is at the heart of this impact. We know short-term missions impacts everyone involved and changes the trajectory of lives. Sometimes it can affect the missionary as much or more than those being served. Our Sports Ministry Fund has supported more than 5,000 individuals via domestic and international missions. We exist not only to crown national champions, but to share the love of Christ wherever it is needed.
Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu.
Back here at courtside at the Pope Activity Center in Winston-Salem, where we're getting set for the start of the second half. We'll switch ends of the floor as the Bruins holding a 10-point lead as we enter the second half, 45-35. We'll be moving from left to right, and we'll have the basketball to start things out, moving left to right across your radio dial, computer screen, smartphone, tablet, television, whatever you're using to access tonight's broadcast on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Double team right off the bat on Tamir Glenn. Glenn nearly throws it away. Pass was deflected, but Oliver able to save it. Hands it back for Glenn, and the Bruins will get into their set on this opening possession, but the shot clock is not moving right now. We'll see if anybody notices it with Kendall Oliver handling it on the near wing. Oliver for Parks. Back in the hands of Colton Bishop. And now the officials are going to notice it, that the shot clock never start. So that should move the shot clock down to about 6 for the Bruins. Bruins with the starting 5 back on the floor with Parks, Glenn, Oliver, Bishop, and Jones in the home whites as Glenn fires up a wild shot, manages to catch the rim, but the rebound taken away by Lockhart and the Owls. Lockhart, Storr, McDonald, Neff, and Gant for the Owls. As Neff moves it into the corner for Gant, just does make the catch, steps inside the three-point line and knocks down the jumper. We mentioned it at halftime that the Owls seem to kind of forget that they had Gant on their team. We'll see if they make a more concerted effort to get him the basketball in the second half. He makes his first shot here. He's got 14 in the game to lead all scorers. Parks lobbing it over the top on the low post in the baseline for Jones. Makes the catch inside and then is knocked to the ground. So the foul will go against the Owls. Nicholas McDonald whistled for the foul. He'll come out of the game as with his third personal, Brent Davis checks in for the Owls. As the Bruins retain possession with 20 on the shot clock. Glenn behind the screen for Parks. Parks to the top, excuse me, for Colton Bishop. Nice pass underneath, and Kendall Oliver gets the basket for the Bruins. Check that, they'll credit the basket to China Jones as the Owls come near side looking to answer. A three on the way is up and through for Brent Davis. After the Bruins had pushed the lead back to 10, the Owls cut it back to 7 at 47-40. 18-20 left to play in the first half. Tamir Glenn along the baseline. So Tamir Glenn will throw it in on the baseline for the Bruins as the Owls make another sub. Glenn trying to get it in for Parks, instead throws it up for Bishop at the top. Into the corner for Oliver. Oliver down low inside against Jones, spins his way to the baseline, lays it up and in. Good spin move by China Jones that time, matched up against Storr. Lays it in, Storr trying to answer with a three, hits off the side of the rim. And the rebound taken away by the Bruins. Parks up the far sideline to Glenn. Into the lane, near side, Oliver, an open three off the front of the rim. This time the Owls with a rebound and a run out the other way. Trailing into the corner is Davis on the baseline. Lost the basketball, it's out of bounds off Tamir Glenn. The Owls will keep it. Antoine Robinson will return. Out of the game will go Colton Bishop. So the Bruins a little bit smaller out there now with 4 guards and Jones. Trying to drive it inside as Davis gets all the way to the rim, forces contact. Good job by Parks holding his ground. Davis misses the shot, Parks has the loose ball. Oliver drives it inside, gets knocked down, and will get himself to the free throw line. Good strong drive by Oliver. Already 3 team fouls in the second half against the Owls with 17:24 left to play in the game. And this was a theme from about the 12-minute mark on in the first half, with the Bruins attacking the rim and getting themselves to the free throw line and putting the Owls in some foul trouble. Oliver at the line knocks down the first. So 9 in the game for Kendall Oliver. One more at the stripe, and Oliver becomes the third Bruin player into double figures. He's got 10, joining Tamir Glenn with 11 and Curtis Coleman with 10. As the 3 Bruin players in double figures, they match their largest lead of the night at 51-40. Gant trying to drive it inside on Glenn, does a good job moving his feet. Gant a contested 3 and still knocks it down. Tough shot by Jordan Gant. Now with 17 in the game, Glenn couldn't have played that any better defensively. Just a tough shot. 51-43, Bruins still in front with 17 minutes to play in the game. Tamir Glenn into the corner for Parks, an open 3. That one's up and through. Robert Parks, not always a willing shooter, knocks down the 3 there. Pushes the lead back out for the Bruins at 54-43. There's a steal in the front court. Tamir Glenn's layup is up and through. (56-43) in favor of the Bruins. Inside, the layup up and good for Lockhart, and a foul. So Lockhart's second basket of the game, he's got 4. Bruins leading by 11 at 56-45. And Lockhart with his first trip to the free throw line, trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play, and does. So that cuts the deficit to 10 at 56-46. Tamir Glenn leading the way for the Bruins, has 13 points. The Bruins with the basketball. Colton Bishop on the far side of the floor. Moves it to the near side, Robinson. A catch-and-shoot three off the front of the rim, and the rebound taken away by the Owls. Come back the other way, trying to get this under 10 as Trey Brown working against Bishop up top. An open three for Lockhart that hits off the side of the rim. The rebound to Robinson and the Bruins. Robinson spins it into the front court, moves it to the far wing for Glenn. Down low inside Poitras, good position on the baseline. It's going to be whistled for a charge though, as it clears out Brent Davis underneath the basket. Curtis Coleman and Hashim Weston return for the Bruins. Kendall Oliver will sit, as will Tamir Glenn for a stretch. With the Bruins on top by 10 with 15:45 to play in the game. Storr trying to drive it inside on Weston. Stops just left of the lane. Jumper is no good. Rebound taken away by Bishop and the Bruins. Bishop into the front court, hands it off for Robinson on the weave. Robinson turns the corner onto the baseline for Poitras, gets his shot swatted out of the sky and out of bounds. Poitras perhaps a little wary that time of picking up another offensive foul. Seemed like he could have gotten to the rim that time, but Lockhart rotates over and blocks the shot. As Andrew Dalton returns for the Owls. Lockhart will sit, Bruins with the basketball, as Coleman will throw it in for Bishop. Bishop steps into a three at the top, rattles it in, Colton Bishop. Colton Bishop, who does so many other things for this team. Not always a aggressive offensive player, but that time steps into a three and knocks it down. Dalton trying to answer for the Owls. That's way off to the right. Bishop's got the rebound. Bishop onto the baseline, far side. Robinson steps around a defender. A layup is no good off the window, and then Robinson whistled for a foul over the back. Trying to poke that loose ball away. 13 foul against the Bruins in the half, who lead it by 13 at 59-46. Storr to the free throw line, extended for Dalton. Moves it into the near corner for Storr. Trying to get it for Gant, instead finds a cutting Dalton, working on Poitras. Turnaround hook shot is good. Dalton with a little turnaround that time. He's got 6 in the game, cuts the Bruin lead to 11 at 59-48. 14:30 still to play in the ball game. Coleman at the top around the screen from Poitras, trying to get him the way into the lane, instead brings it outside for Bishop. Bishop wants a screen, Poitras comes out to set it. Poitras splits a double team into the lane. Outside Coleman, another three. Hits off the back of the rim and a long rebound pulled away by Brown and the Owls. Brown with a hesitation dribble, gets all the way to the lane. Little scoop shot, no, but a foul coming from behind. It's gonna go against Weston and the Bruins. So the 4th team foul against the Bruins will put Trey Brown at the free throw line. First trip to the stripe for the 6'1" junior. Has 2 points in the game. First free throw on the way, rolls in. Jeff Nolan back into the game for the Bruins, replacing Colton Bishop. Jaquan Lockhart also returns for the Owls in place of Brent Davis. So the Owls with as much size on the floor as they can muster, as the second free throw is good for Brown. Brown will come out of the game. Jakarian Martin back in. Curtis Coleman will bring it into the front court. Coleman around the screen from Poitras, picked up in a switch by Lockhart, moves it into the corner for Robinson. Robinson matched up with Gant, trying to get it inside for Poitras, who has a size mismatch down low right now. Instead, Coleman will pull up for a contested three. It's a little bit short. Poitras taps the rebound, but right into the hands of Storr. Back the other way, Coleman with a deflection and a steal. Good job by the Bruins that time, not allowing the Owls in transition as Coleman on the far wing. Get it down low inside for Nolan, spins baseline, lost the basketball. It's tapped up in the air. Robinson tracks it down. We'll bring it back out, and the Bruins will reset with 15 on the shot clock. Robinson around the screen from Poitras, near side for Weston. Weston drives the lane, hangs in the air, spins it off the window, and a foul for Hashim Weston. Big time play by Hashim Weston that time, driving the lane, able to spin that off the window with his right hand, puts some English on it, gets it to drop in, and takes the contact. First basket of the game for Weston. Pushes the Bruin lead back to 11 at 61-50, and a chance for a three-point play. Coach Josh Howard will take a timeout as well. It will be a full timeout, and so we will take the timeout with him. 13-14 left to play in the ball game. The Bruins with an 11-point lead, and Hashim Weston at the free throw line when we come back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu.
Here at the Pope Activity Center, Hashim Weston an opportunity to convert an old-fashioned three-point play and give the Bruins a 12-point lead, leading at 61-50 with 13-14 left to play in the game. Weston's free throw rolls in. So Weston now with 3 in the ball game, and the Bruins match their largest lead of the night at 12, 62-50. As the Owls back the other direction with Storr. Storr at the top to the far side for Gant, matched up defensively against Coleman. Around the screen, pulls up at the free throw line, short jumper is good again. When Gant has been involved in the offense for the Owls, the Bruins have had no answer to this point. He's got 19, and the lead for the Bruins is down to 10 at 62-52. Robinson near side for Weston. Around the screen from Poitras. Poitras catches it down low inside. Turns around with a little hook shot, might have been deflected inside by Lockhart. Loose ball taken away by Dalton, and then Dalton throws it away. So the Bruins will get it back. Kendall Oliver returns, replacing Justin Poitras. Coleman out there, handling the basketball just inside that Bruin midcourt logo. Comes around the screen from Oliver to the top for Nolan. Drives his way into the lane, puts up a wild shot that hits off the back of the rim and drops in. The first points of the Bruin career for Jeff Nolan. Pushes the lead back to 12 for the Bruins at 64-52. Trey Brown trying to drive it inside on Weston. Gets it into the corner for Dalton. Dalton drives around Nolan, gets to the rim, draws contact, and will get to the free throw line. So now you see both teams making a concerted effort to get to the rim. A lot of fouls being called in the early going. Still 12 minutes to play in the game. 14 fouls apiece. And Dalton at the stripe for a pair. He's got 6 in the game. First free throw on the way is up and good. Second free throw is good for Dalton, who makes both. Brings the Owls within 10 at 64-54. Bruins with the basketball, leading by 10 as Robinson hands it off for Weston. Double team coming as the Owls now trapping behind every screen. Free throw line area by Oliver. Nice pass inside by Nolan, who got inside position on Dalton. Lays it up and in with the left hand, and Nolan with back-to-back hoops for the Bruins. And will get himself to the free throw line and a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. Jeff Nolan, more of a traditional big man for this Bruins team. The kind of player they've not really had this season. Providing some bulk underneath the basket, has 4 points in this second half in his first appearance for the Bruins. Free throw on the way, hits off the back rim. Coleman had the rebound, got it knocked away. Owls come up with the loose ball. Back the other direction is Brown, drives the lane. He looked like initially made contact with by Nolan, but instead they're going to whistle him for an extra step, and it'll be a traveling violation. And the ball will go back over to the Bruins, who catch a break. Initially thought that was going to be a foul on Nolan, but instead a travel. Bruins leading by 12 at 66-54. Robinson doing a lot of dribbling out top. Matched up against Gant. Nolan out to set the screen. Robinson now matched up with Dalton in a switch. Dives the lane underneath for Nolan. Misses the layup on the pick and roll. Got his own miss back. Kicks it out for Oliver. Oliver to the near side. Pass was intended for Weston. Robinson stuck his hand out there and deflected it. It came away to the Owls for a turnover. Davis on the baseline, gets it down low. Dalton matched up with Robinson in a switch. Little turnaround hook shot again is good. Dalton's had a good second half. He's got 10 in the game now. Cuts the Bruin lead to 10 at 66-56. 10:53 to play in the game as Robinson drives the lane, hangs it in the air, puts it up off the window, no, but a foul. Six team fouls now against the Owls as Dalton whistled for the blocking foul. And so Antoine Robinson will go to the free throw line. Shooting 2 on this one will be Robinson. He has 3 points in the game. Came back in the first half. First free throw is good. Bruins have done a better job at the free throw line in the second half, and that's going to be a factor as this game moves along. The Bruins struggled at the line in the first half despite getting there a ton. One more at the line for Robinson. Second one is good. 6 in the game, or 5 in the game for Robinson. A 12-point lead for the Bruins at 68-56 as Brown brings it into the front court. Hands it off for Davis. Davis drives the lane through 3 defenders. Lays it up, no, but a foul. Jeff Nolan whistled for the foul. Now 6 fouls apiece with still 10:40 to play in this game, which could make for a long second half, with now both teams encroaching on the bonus. At the line is Brent Davis, misses his first free throw. We'll call that a teardrop free throw. One more at the line for Davis as Antoine Robinson goes back and has a word with Coach Howard. Second one on the way. That one again off the back of the rim, and the rebound to the Bruins. So the Owls miss an opportunity to get closer. Now the Bruins trying to widen their lead as Robinson shakes free of Brent Davis with the between the legs dribble. Now Nolan out to set the screen. Robinson tries to split the double team. Robinson drives around Davis, trying to get it on the baseline, but it's deflected and stolen by Gant. Gant up the near sideline, dribbles to the wing, fires a contested 3. It's no good, but a foul. And you can't really blame Oliver for getting that close to Gant, who has been just absolutely stellar from the field, but a little bit too close, knocks him to the ground, and now a little bit slow to get up as Gant. Maybe dealing with a cramp the way that the training staff is attending to him right now. When Gant gets back to his feet, he'll have 3 free throws. But while they attend to Gant dealing with what appears to be a cramp, we'll take a timeout and be right back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. here at courtside at the Pope Activity Center. Jordan Gant finally comes to his feet again, dealing with what appears to be a cramp in his right leg or his left leg, trying to walk it off and stay in the game. He's going to have 3 free throws, and it looks like he's going to shoot them. But he looks like he is in a lot of pain right now. And if you've ever had a cramp, it is not fun. And the officials are not going to let Gant shoot these free throws. So they're going to make Gant come out of the game. And the Bruins are going to elect to send Justin Storr to the free throw line. So he'll take these 3 free throws for the Owls. First free throw rolls in. Storr's first trip to the line tonight. He's now got 9 in the game. Second one on the way. That one rolls in. So Storr will have 1 more at the stripe and a chance to get this into single digits. With the lead currently at 10 for the Bruins, 68-58. And we're gonna mop up a wet spot on the floor where Gant was toppled moments ago. But if Gant can't come back into this game, that's gonna make things trickier for the Owls. Gant has 19 points so far tonight to lead all scorers as he gets worked on by the Owl training staff on the sideline. Third free throw rolls in, so Storr makes all 3. Cuts the deficit to 9 at 68-59. And the Bruins with the basketball as Robinson, a double team coming, nearly crossed the midcourt stripe with it. Tries to whip it in the corner for Oliver, who just does make the save. Down low inside for Nolan, puts up a little hook shot. No, the tap up is good. Nolan playing a little bit of volleyball with himself that time, just taps it up and in. 70-59, the Bruins lead by 11 with 9:45 left to play in the game. Storr will fire a 3 and knock it down. Tough shot by Storr. Third 3 of the game for him. He's got 14, one of 3 Owl players in double figures. Owls are gonna get a little bit more aggressive defensively as Oliver takes the pass from Weston. And now back up top, Coleman into the corner for Oliver, trying to get it down low. Instead, they skip it into the near corner for Weston. Steps inside the 3-point line, jumper off the back of the rim. Oliver taps the rebound, ball loose on the floor, still loose on the floor, and finally the Owls come out of there with it. Up the far sideline is Davis. Into the corner. Now to the top for Dalton, and now back into the hands of Trey Brown. Near side for Storr, made a 3 a moment ago. Looks like he wants to take another one. Instead, we'll drive it on Weston. Spins his way around the lane, puts it up off the window, no. Rebound, tapped around. Oliver knocks it free from the Owls. Robinson has the loose ball, finds Weston. Weston loses the ball going to the rim, and the ball taken away by the Owls. Back the other direction, Storr on the near wing. Got the ball poked away from behind, but able to save it, and gets it back for Trey Brown into the corner. Open 3 on the way for Davis, is up and good. Back-to-back 3s by the Owls, 7-0 run for the Owls, and they've cut a 12-point deficit down to just 5 at 70-65. So the Owls making some hay right now offensively with their top offensive player on the bench. Robinson out front, Dalton waiting for him at the 3-point line. Picked up in a switch now by Lockhart. Robinson will take it at him. Drives inside, and a blocking foul is going to be whistled against Storr and the Owls. Now, will they call that a 1-and-1 or will they call that 2? They'll say 2. So Antoine Robinson back to the free throw line. They'll say that was in the act of shooting, so 2 free throws for Robinson. Both teams now in the bonus, so again, a lot of free throws coming down the stretch without a doubt. 8:09 still to play in the game. First free throw on the way for Robinson, hits off to the left. Colton Bishop, China Jones, and Tamir Glenn all return. Robert Parks will return in place of Robinson in a moment, if Robinson makes this free throw. The Owls complaining about a wet spot on the floor right now and want to see it get cleaned up underneath the basket. As the officials kind of look at each other. And now the Bruins will take a moment here to get the court cleared up underneath the basket on the block to the right of the lane. Andrew Dalton was showing the officials how slick it is. Seeing a lot of bodies on the floor throughout this game, so it's understandable. So while we have a moment, we'll take a look at some of the leading scorers in this ball game. Again, 3 players in double figures for the Bruins, led by Tamir Glenn, who has 13 points in the game. Kendall Oliver and Curtis Coleman each have 10. Robert Parks right there as well has 9 points in the game. And then on the other side for the Owls, they have 4 players in double figures, led by Jordan Gann, who has 19, but is on the bench right now dealing with cramps. Justin Storr has 14 in the game. Brent Davis and Andrew Dalton each with 10. And at the free throw line, Antoine Robinson has 1 more. Trying to stop the bleeding for the Bruins as the Owls have scored the last 7 to cut this 12-point lead for the Bruins down to just 5. 1 more free throw on the way is up and good. So Robinson will stay in the game. I thought Parks was coming in for him. Instead, back the other direction. A 3 on the way is up and good for Trey Brown. Bruins not alert defensively. And all of a sudden, it is a 3-point game at 71-68. 10 of the last 11 for the Owls. They've chopped 9 points off this 12-point lead for the Bruins. Tamir Glenn at the top finds a cutting Jones in the lane. Got his shot blocked, ball loose on the floor. Taken away by Jaquan Lockhart and the Owls, who have a chance to tie with a 3. Near side of the floor as Davis drives the lane. Finger roll, no good, and the rebound taken away by Bishop. Bishop into the front court, skips it near side. Oliver, an open 3 on the way. That bounces out, and the rebound taken away by the Owls. Shakari and Martin into the front court, pulls up for 3, and the tie, got it. Shakari and Martin steps into a 3 in transition, and the Owls on a 13-1 run have tied this game at 71. And a timeout for the Owls. We'll take it as well. 7:12 to play in the game. Tied at 71. Back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu.
Out of the timeout, we welcome you back to play here at the Pope Activity Center, a brand new basketball game with the Owls on a 13-1 run to tie this game at 71. Colton Bishop trying to answer. 3-pointer off the back rim, no good. Oliver in there for the miss, but it's out of bounds. Ball will go back over to the Owls, trying to retake the lead here. Brent Davis on the far wing, steps around the screen, thought about the 3, drives it inside all the way to the rim. The layup is good. So Brent Davis keeps the run going for the Owls. It's now a 15-1 run to take a 2-point lead at 73-71. The Owls have not led by more than 3 tonight. Parks out front, trying to get it inside for Jones. Jones and Trey Brown jostling for position under the basket. Trey Brown's going to be whistled for the foul. The Bruins already in the bonus, so they'll get a 1-and-1 opportunity out of this with China Jones. Needs both of these to tie the game. 6:23 still to play in the game. Justin Poitras will return. Kendall Oliver will sit. So at the line is China Jones, made 2 of 2 earlier in the game. First free throw is up and good. Jones now with 7 on the night, brings the Bruins within a point at 73-72. We'd like to see the Bruins make a shot from the field. Have not seen one of those in a couple of minutes. Second free throw on the way, that's up and good as well. So Jones makes both, ties the game at 73. Owls with the basketball, 6:20 to play in the game. Dalton at the top, hands it off for Martin. Martin drives the lane, hangs in the air, puts it up, no, but a foul. Martin just aggressively attacking the rim that time. Robert Parks will be whistled for the foul. 8th team foul against the Bruins, so it'll be 2 at the line for Martin. And again, this very well could develop into a free throw shooting contest over the final 6:10, the way these two teams are driving to the rim right now. First free throw is good. Second one on the way for Martin. Rolls in, so Martin makes both and reestablishes the 2-point lead for the Owls at 75-73. Parks for the Bruins, brings it into the front court, drives the lane, kicks it out. Glenn, a 3 for the lead. That one off the front of the rim. Rebound tapped around. The Owls come out of there with it. The Owls have done a much better job of not allowing second chance opportunities for the Bruins in this second half. After the Bruins pushed the Owls all over the floor in the first half, but much more effort from the Owls, matching the energy level for the Bruins, limiting them to 1 shot. Now the Owls looking to widen their lead. Near side of the floor for Martin. Step back 3 on the way. It's an air ball and it's going to roll out of bounds. Good job defensively that time by the Bruins, who get it back trailing by 2. Jordan Gant furiously trying to stretch out that calf where he had the cramp earlier on the sideline. If he comes back into this game, it'll be a totally different game. Jones inside, nice spin move to the baseline. Again, got matched up with Trey Brown and a switch underneath the hoop, and Jones will get himself to the free throw line. Jones with such a size advantage against Brown, who stands just 6'1". China Jones about 6'6". And Jones doing a good job that time getting deep post position. And now will get himself back to the line. He made 2 of 2 a moment ago. We'll get 2 more here and a chance to tie the game. First free throw hits off the back of the rim. Curtis Coleman returns. Poitras will sit. The Owls will make a sub as well as Justin Storr returns in place of Trey Brown. 1 more at the line for Jones. Second free throw a little bit short this time, and the rebound to Dalton. So the lead stays at 2 for the Owls with 5:05 to play in the game. Still a lot of time left, but you can sense the angst in the building right now. Lockhart hands it off for Storr. Behind a screen, Martin looking for another 3. That one off the front of the rim. Up high for the rebound is Bishop. Owls making a concerted effort to get Martin the ball right now. As Bishop back the other direction. Steps up to the far wing and now will step back. And the Bruins will get into their set. Bishop with a left-hand dribble, gets all the way to the rim, puts it up, no. The tap up by Jones is no good. Parks has the miss and kicks it back to the top, and the Bruins will get another opportunity. Coach Behringer for the Owls, incredulous at his team's inability to pick up that loose ball. Bishop on the far, or rather Glenn on the far wing, drives the lane, lay it up with the right hand and in. Tamir Glenn has 15 in the game, ties the game at 75. Driving the lane this time is Storr with a right hand layup up and good. Beat 2 defenders to the rim that time. Gives the Owls a 2-point lead at 77-75. 4 minutes left to play in the game now. Coleman out front, splits through a double team. Free throw line jumper off the back of the rim. Tried to get his own miss back, but the Owls with the loose ball. Davis back the other way against Glenn, hangs in the air. Layup is up and good. Largest lead of the game now for the Owls at 4, 79-75. 3:35 left to play in the game. Tamir Glenn out front, moves it into the corner for Parks. Parks with a crossover dribble, attacks the rim, banks it, no, but a foul. Good job that time by Parks. Sensing the contact. Put it up off the window, nearly got it to go, just a little bit too strong, and now Parks will be at the line for a pair. An opportunity to become the 4th player into double figures for the Bruins if he makes at least one of these. First free throw on the way, it's up and good. So Parks now with back-to-back games with double figures for him. First time that's happened this season. Nicholas McDonald returns, Jakari and Martin goes to the bench. One more at the line for Parks, the freshman from Alabama. Second free throw, pops out. Coleman taps the rebound, but the Owls come up with it. Keeps the deficit at 3 for the Bruins, 79-76. Davis driving it inside on Bishop, off the window, lay it in. Brett Davis now at 16 in the game as he's gotten much more aggressive here offensively, and the lead is 5 for the Owls, 81-76. 3 minutes left to play as the clock now becomes a factor. Colton Bishop to the near side for Parks, trying to get it inside for Jones. Instead, back to the top. They reverse the ball into the corner for Tamir Glenn. 10 on the shot clock. Glenn's going to have to do something with it. Uses the crossover, got the ball knocked away. It's loose on the floor. Davis picks it up. In traffic, got it knocked away from behind by Glenn. And now a timeout for Coach Howard. So Coach Howard calls timeout for the Bruins. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. 2:45 left to play in the game. The Bruins trailing by 5, 81-76. Back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Concerts. Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. We give you glory, glory.
For tickets or more.
Back here on the campus of Piedmont International University, where the Bruins find themselves trailing by 5 at 81-76. Colton Bishop with the left-hand dribble gets all the way to the lane. Gets knocked down as he goes to the rim and will get himself to the free throw line. That's one thing the Bruins have done well, but we were positing during the timeout about the lack of shot makes from the field for the Bruins. Tamir Glenn has the only field goal for the Bruins in the last 8 minutes. Colton Bishop at the line for a pair. First free throw rolls in. Bishop now with 5, cuts the deficit to 4 at 81-77. Still 2:35 to play in the game. Second free throw is long. Bishop tracks down the miss, though, for the Bruins, who get an extra possession. Bishop drives the lane, off the window and in with the foul. The senior Colton Bishop from here in Winston-Salem taking the onus on himself. Now at the free throw line, a chance to make this a one-point game if he can knock this free throw down. Free throw is good. 4-point possession for Colton Bishop. It's a one-point game at 81-80, and here comes the crowd with 2:20 left to play in the game. Storr to the wing for Dalton. Dalton into the corner again for Storr. Onto the baseline, underneath the basket, blocked off the window. It's going to be a goaltend, and that's going to count. Heck of a job by Lockhart. Made a tough catch on the baseline as he was slipping to the ground, able to get that on the rim, and then China Jones swatting it off the rim for a goaltend. 83-80 now as Lockhart gets his third basket of the night. Coleman to the top for Glenn, around his defender in the lane, hangs in the air, push shot no, but a foul. Maybe not the best shot of the game for Glenn that he's taken, but the officials will get him to the free throw line. 1:56 to play in the game. First free throw on the way. That one pops out. Struggles at the line continue for the Bruins. They've been there a ton, just haven't made enough of them. Keeps the deficit at 3 at 83-80. Jordan Gant back in the game for the Owls, who was cramping earlier. Second free throw is good, so Glenn makes 1 of 2. He's got 16 to lead the Bruins. Deficit is 2, and now the Bruins need a stop. Storr into the front court, hands it off for Gant, back for Storr. Now for Lockhart. Lockhart on the far wing, back for Storr, matched up with Glenn. Storr a long way from the basket with 10 to shoot. Now down to 7 on the shot clock. Storr around the screen, drives the lane, floater, rolls in for Storr. Wow. Used almost all of that shot clock, and Storr with a running floater. Bishop back the other way, pulls up for 3, it bounces out. Rebound to the Owls, and now they can take this under a minute. And the Owls are going to call timeout and set something up. It's going to be a full timeout, but we'll keep it here with 1:11 left to play. Colton Bishop, who was feeling it a little bit, stepped into a 3 in transition, a long one. We've seen him make that before, but again, maybe not the shot the Bruins were looking for there. And now with 1:11 left to play in the game, the Owls, with a basket here, could throw the knockout blow on what would be a tremendous come-from-behind win for them. The Bruins, again, led this game at one point, 72-60. So if you're a math whiz, that is a 25-9 run over the last 9 minutes for the Owls. To take this lead at 85-81. And this is not even the Owls' largest lead of the second half. They've led it by as many as 5. But again, the Bruins now defensively desperately need a stop here to get this ball back, and then they need to score quickly, as by the time they get it back, there's quite likely to be less than a minute left to play in the game. Antoine Robinson comes back into the game in place of China Jones, so just about 5 guards out there for the Bruins. Parks guarding Storr in the backcourt. Parks swiping at the basketball, now picked up on a switch as Storr, matched up with Glenn. Far side, trying to get it down low inside, makes the catch in close off the window and score it for Lockhart. Big basket for the Owls rather, puts the Bruins in a deep hole, and now they need to score quickly. 1 minute to play. Coleman shut off in the lane, turnaround jumper rattles in. Coleman had nowhere to go, somehow gets that to rattle in, nearly a turnover. Lockhart makes the catch in traffic. Gant trying to bring it into the front court and does. Gant in traffic, gets rid of it for Dalton. Bruins gonna foul. Trailing by 4 at 87-83, 37.4 on the game clock. Now that's just the 9th team foul against the Bruins, so this will be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Dalton, who made 2 earlier. First free throw, no good, and the rebound to Parks. Bruins need to score quickly. They've got numbers. Parks for Robinson, layup is good. Cuts the deficit to 2. Glenn knocks the ball away, that's out of bounds off Davis. So the Bruins come up with the turnover they needed. And now we'll have the ball back with an opportunity to tie or win the game. Timeout for the Bruins. Coach Howard wants to draw something up. A furious, furious rally by the Bruins. Trailed by as many as 6 with less than a minute to play. Have chopped 4 off that lead, and now we'll have the ball back with 29.2 on the game clock, meaning that the shot clock will be off here, and the Bruins potentially, depending on how Coach Howard wants to play this, could play for the final shot of the game, or at least of regulation. So we'll see what the Bruins elect to do here. Again, with an opportunity to either tie or win this game with 29.2 on the game clock. And we'll see if the Bruins can find a way to snatch victory from the proverbial jaws of defeat here. Again, if you're just joining us, the Bruins led this game by 12 at about the midway point of the second half. But a 25-9 run by the Owls put them up by 6. The Bruins, though, have stormed back and are now back within 2 after Tamir Glenn forcing a turnover in the backcourt after a layup by Robinson. Now get the ball back, and we'll see how the Bruins elect to play this. Colton Bishop will throw it in on the baseline. Bishop lobs it up for Parks, who gets it for Glenn. Tamir Glenn out front with the basketball, matched up with Storr. Bishop out to set the screen. Tamir at the top, drives to the free throw line, inside, off the window, no, the rebound taken away by Dalton. Bruins got a foul, and the Bruins now give the foul. Glenn got a pretty solid look at it, just spun it a little bit too hard off the window. And now Dalton, who missed the front end of the 1-and-1 earlier, will have 2 opportunities this time, as that was the 10th team foul against the Bruins with 14.2 on the game clock. The Bruins need at least 1 miss here to stay in the game. Dalton settles the first one in. So that gives the Bruins, or the Owls rather, a 3-point lead at 88-85. This is the big one, though, as this would give the Owls a 2-possession lead, with the Bruins scrambling to get the correct 5 on the floor right now. As Poitras returns. Second free throw calmly knocked in by Dalton. The Owls will call timeout. So Dalton, after he missed the front end of the 1-and-1 a moment ago, knocks down 2 big free throws there and gives the Owls a 2-possession lead at 89-85. Now the Bruins don't necessarily need a 3 here, but they do need to score quickly regardless of what they do. If they go for 3 and miss, the game is essentially over. If they go for 2 and score, they're still in it, because they can give another quick foul and hope for a miss and play the free throw game for a moment. If you're wondering about potential shooters here for the Bruins, they've got a couple of guys who have made some threes in this game. Tamir Glenn, Antoine Robinson, Kendall Oliver, Curtis Coleman, Robert Parks, and Colton Bishop have all made at least 1 3 in this game. Coleman, Bishop, Glenn, Robinson, and Poitras, the 5 on the floor for the Bruins. Coleman will trigger the inbound again with 14.2 on the game clock. In for Glenn, dribbles away from the double team, gets rid of it to Coleman, into the corner for Robinson, drives the baseline, layup is good. That was what the Bruins needed there, as that ball almost popped out on Robinson, and a quick timeout for Coach Howard and the Bruins. So that was exactly what the Bruins needed, was a quick basket. Now 5.5 on the game clock. So now the goal here will be for the Bruins to try and either very quickly force a turnover off the inbounds, or they're going to have to give a foul very quickly. And if the Bruins can give a foul and then get a miss, they'll get 1 last opportunity. But the better option for the Bruins certainly would be to find a way to force a turnover off this inbounds pass. It wouldn't be unprecedented. We saw Tamir Glenn do it a few moments ago. We'll see if they can do that again here. But if the Owls are able to get this ball into space, the game is likely going to be over in a hurry. 5.5 on the game clocks. Both teams in the double bonus. 89-87, the Owls with the lead, trying to complete a pretty substantial rally in a game they trailed by as many as 12 in the second half. Dalton will be the trigger man for the Owls. Out there with Davis, Storr, Lockhart, and Gant. And after a little bit more maintenance work on the floor, Dalton will trigger the inbound on the far side of the floor on the baseline. Dalton looking for somewhere to go, gets it in quickly for Storr. Storr is fouled immediately. That took about 0.7 off the clock, so 4.8 still to play. And now Storr, if he can make both of these, will put this game away for the Owls. If he misses, it will leave the door open just a crack for the Bruins, who would have 1 last opportunity. Storr has been to the line twice tonight, is 3 of 4. No good. So that will leave the door open for the Bruins, just a hair. Bruins will make a sub as Justin Poitras will come into the game. Robert Parks will sit. Storr has one more at the line. Bruins need to box out in case of a miss here. Second free throw is good. And so the Bruins will now use their final timeout as Storr makes 1 of 2 at the stripe. But that miss on the front end opens the door just slightly for the Bruins. With the score at 90-87. And now for the Bruins, it's make or break time as Coach Howard uses his final timeout here. Trailing by 3 at 90-87, the Bruins need to get this ball in quickly and need to get it up the floor quickly and find a three-point shooter for an opportunity to potentially send this game to overtime. So the Bruins are down to the final out in the proverbial deck of cards here, to borrow a piece of poker vernacular. It'll be Glenn, Robinson, Bishop, Coleman, and Parks for the Bruins. 5 guards on the floor. Glenn will throw the inbound. Glenn's got to throw it in, gets it in for Bishop, hands it back for Glenn. 3 seconds left. Glenn for the tie. Got it! Tamir Glenn knocks down the 3, and we are headed for overtime. So we'll keep it here as we get ready to head to overtime. An incredible rally for the Bruins. And the crowd is into this one. Tied at 90 after the Bruins trailed by as many as 6 in the final minute. The Owls missed a couple of free throws that could have put this game away. But courtesy of a terrifically executed play by the Bruins, shades of Valparaiso in the NCAA tournament from years ago, Tamir Glenn on a catch and shoot knocks down the 3 to tie this game at the buzzer at 90, and we'll play 5 more minutes. Dalton, Gant, Storr, Lockhart, and Davis for the Owls. Robinson, Glenn, Bishop, Parks, and China Jones for the Bruins to start overtime. What a finish here tonight in Winston-Salem as Jones and Lockhart will jump it up. We'll switch ends, or we'll stay going the correct ends of the floor, so the Bruins will move left to right. Owls will move right to left here in the overtime. Jump ball is won by the Bruins. Colton Bishop all the way to the rim, left the layup short. Rebound taken away by Dalton and the Owls as we're underway here in the extra period, tied at 90. Crowd is into this one as Davis steps into a 3, tried to bank it, it's no good, and the rebound taken away by Jones and the Bruins. Tamir Glenn into the front court. Top of the key for him. Both teams need to settle down now and get back into basketball. Glenn out front, steps into a 3. Off the front of the rim, the rebound taken away by Storr. Neither team with a point yet in this overtime period as Davis steps to the near wing. Gets it for Storr on the sideline. Parks swiping at the basketball as Storr drives it inside. Turnaround on Parks. It's going to be a traveling violation. It is. The extra step that time for Storr. And now the Bruins get the ball back. Both teams still looking for the first points of overtime. 4:13 to play. Out front, Robert Parks to the near side for Glenn. Zone defense on this trip for the Owls defensively as Robinson matched up with Storr. Moves it into the corner for Parks, down low inside. Jones with a good cut, got the ball knocked away. Underneath the hoop, and now a reach-in foul. It's going to go against the Owls and Brent Davis. Both teams long since in the bonus, so China Jones will be at the line for two. Jones in the game has 12 tonight. First trip to the line for him. Check that, third trip to the line for him. First free throw is good. Jones now 5 of 6 at the stripe. Has 9 points in the game. One more at the line for Jones as Dalton exits for the Owls. And Jakarian Martin returns. Second free throw a little bit short. Rebound tapped around, and it comes down into the hands of the Owls. So the Bruins with a 1-point lead at 91-90 as Davis, double team coming on him, picks up his dribble, down low inside for Lockhart, gets it back for Davis in the lane, spins through traffic, puts it up, no, but a foul. Tremendous job by Davis that time, fighting through traffic, maintained possession of that basketball, and then is fouled inside, and he will go to the free throw line with a chance to tie or take the lead for the Owls with 3:41 to play in the extra period. Davis has 16 in the game. First free throw drops in. Davis now 3 of 5 at the free throw line, has 17 in the game. Ties the game at 91. Second free throw off to the left. Lockhart with the rebound, the putback no, and Bishop the rebound for the Bruins. Bishop pushes it into the front court, drives the lane on the baseline. Robinson, right hand layup is good. First field goal for either team in the extra period. The Bruins lead by 2 at 93-91. 3:20 to play in the game. Gant into the lane. Drops it off underneath, and it's taken away underneath the basket by Jones. Not able to handle the pass was Lockhart. Bruins get it back, looking to maybe take a 2-possession lead here in the extra frame. 3:10 to play. Tamir Glenn's going to slow things down as Coach Howard barks out instructions for Glenn. And now Coach Howard directing traffic from the sideline on the far side of the floor. Glenn around the double screen at the top. Matched up with Storr, spins around him, picks up his dribble, moves it far side for Parks. Robinson a 3 in the corner, halfway down and out. The rebound comes down into the hands of the Owls, and then a foul in the rebounding action that's going to go against Lockhart and the Owls, a pushing foul. Just a common foul. So the foul against the Owls underneath the basket will put China Jones at the free throw line as Lockhart walking Jones off the rebound that time. Check that, that's on Davis, that's his 5th. That's a big, big foul for the Owls. Already shorthanded tonight. So Davis fouls out with 17. Trey Brown takes his place, and the Owls get much smaller on the floor now. China Jones at the line for 2. First free throw is good. Chance to make this a 2-possession lead now with 2:43 to play in the game. Second free throw for Jones, yes. Jones has been good at the line in the second half. He's got 11. The lead is 4 for the Bruins at 95-91. Brown hands it off for Storr, trying to find Gant, instead can't get it to him. Now come to the top for Storr, pass deflected by Bishop. Gant goes all the way back to the midcourt stripe to pick it up. Gant doing a lot of dribbling around the screen from Lockhart. Steps to the top of the key, launches a 3, it's way to the left. Out of bounds, back over to the Bruins. Good defense by the Bruins that time. Colton Bishop Man-to-man with Gant the whole way, who's been dealing with cramps since the midway part of the second half. Gant has 19 in the game, but has not been the same since he left with that cramp in his leg earlier. 2:10 to play in the game, and the Bruins taking a little time off this clock. Will take it under 2 minutes. Coach Howard again directing traffic with Tamir Glenn standing in front of him. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Now the Bruins will get into their set. China Jones out to set the screen. Glenn behind the back dribble. Floater in the lane, good! 21 in the game for Tamir Glenn, and the Bruins with a 6-point lead, 97-91. Store into the corner, 3 on the way for Brown is good. Check that, Jakari and Martin with the 3, he's got 11. Cuts the deficit to 3 at 97-94, 90 seconds to play in the game. Tamir Glenn out front, matched up against Trey Brown. Brown poking at the basketball as Glenn goes away from the screen from Jones. Step back 3, halfway down it pops out. Colton Bishop with the putback. 10 in the game for Bishop. 7 in the second half as Storr drives the lane, got a shot block but a foul. 99-94 after the putback by Bishop, 1:05 to play here in overtime. Storr headed to the free throw line for a pair after he drew the contact from Jones. Storr has 19 in the game. He missed 1 of 2 at the end of regulation that could have sealed it. Storr makes the first calmly here though, needs this one to make it a 1-possession game again. Still 1:05 to play in overtime. Second free throw pops out. Lockhart's got the rebound. Kicks it back out blindly to Martin. Up top, Storr, 3 off the front of the rim. Tamir Glenn's got the miss, and now the Bruins can run this down a little bit. Under a minute to play. Glenn uses a screen from Bishop and brings it into the front court. Matched up with Trey Brown. Around the screen from Jones, near side Bishop with the touch pass to Parks, and Parks widely decides not to take the 3. Now down to 10 on the shot clock. Parks this time will take the 3. Halfway down it pops out. Bishop taps the rebound to himself. The putback is up and through. Colton Bishop gives the Bruins a 6-point lead, 101-95. Gant trying to answer, it's no good. Lockhart the rebound, up top for Martin, a 3. That's no good. Rebound tapped out back to Martin. With 17 seconds left to play, steps into a 3 and knocks this one down. Bruins very quickly need to get the ball in bounds and due to Tamir Glenn. And then the Owls will give the foul, and Tamir Glenn will shoot a pair with a 3-point lead and 13.6 to play in the game. So Tamir Glenn will shoot a pair here. If he makes one of these, it's a 2-possession lead and puts the Owls in a tough spot. Tamir Glenn has 21 in the game, has been up and down at the free throw line tonight. Really could use both of these to put the Owls in a deep hole that they may not climb out of. Glenn, who has been by far the most improved player on this team this season, misses the first well short. So just as the Owls did earlier, Tamir Glenn leaving the door open just a crack. One more at the line for Glenn. Second free throw, also short. Rebound tapped up, and it's headed towards the baseline. Saved in bounds, but right to Parks. And that's been a theme throughout the night for the Bruins. Second chance opportunities and rebounds off missed free throws. And so after Glenn misses 2, Parks at the line. Again, just needs one of these with 10.2 on the game clock to make it a 2-possession lead. First free throw, no good again. Free throws have been a struggle all night for this Bruins team. One more at the line for Parks, the freshman from Alabama. Second one, no good again. And then a lane violation against the Owls is going to give the ball back, or against the Bruins rather, is going to give the ball back to the Owls. Still just trailing by 3 and one last chance. Storr up the near sideline. Trying to get it for Gant on the near wing. Dribbles across the lane, up top into the hands of Martin. Back for Gant at the buzzer. No good, and the Bruins win. It seemed only fitting that the Owls, just like the Bruins, would get one last opportunity as time expired. Gant, though, does not find the range at the buzzer, and the Bruins win it in overtime. 101-98 is the final score. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the Bruins post-game show. We'll hear from head coach Josh Howard. We'll hear from our players of the game, Tamir Glenn and Colton Bishop. Coming up after this here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. What a night.
Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs and offerings, visit piedmontu.edu.
Information, visit piedmontu.edu/concerts. That's piedmontu.edu/concerts. Piedmont International University presents an evening of worship with Phil Wickham.
Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Enjoy a wonderful evening of worship with Phil Wickham, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First on University Parkway. The concert starts at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets on sale now. Premium tickets include early entry and artist meet and greet.
This is amazing grace.
It's Phil Wickham in concert, presented by Piedmont International University, Friday, March 1st at Winston-Salem First.
Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. We give you glory, glory.
For tickets or more information, visit piedmontu.edu/concerts. That's piedmontu.
Ministry and theological education does not have to force you into mounds of debt, uproot your family, or stifle your current church ministry. Piedmont International University's Temple Baptist Seminary offers flexible online courses and affordable tuition prices with Scripture as its foundation and practical ministry training as its goal. With concentrations like chaplaincy, marriage and family counseling, leadership, missions, expository preaching, discipleship, and more, finding a program is easy to do. Temple Baptist Seminary at Piedmont International University. Ministry where God calls, seminary where you are. For more information about degree programs,
finish here tonight at the Pope Activity Center on the campus of Piedmont International University as the Bruins rally from down 6 in the final minute of regulation to force overtime and then overwhelm the Owls in the final 5 minutes. And they win it 101-98. Dave Shook with you here at courtside as we begin the Bruin postgame show with head coach Josh Howard talking about today's game. And Coach, we were just talking about it off the air a minute ago. As exciting as that was, none of it maybe really was necessary given the way that the team shot it at the free throw line down the stretch. But you had to be happy with the team responded to it, the way the team responded to the adversity down the stretch.
Yes, they responded well, and I think that goes back to the first semester in the games we played, preparing those guys to deal with situations like this. Of course, we didn't make free throws like we should have, and definitely would have put the game out of reach. But for my guys to stay together as a team and realize like it's going to be a hard-fought game to the end, it speaks a lot about these young men growing up.
This Warren Wilson team has played a similar schedule to
Yes.
the one that you guys have played. A lot of really high-end competition, and so their record a little bit misleading. They've got big-time players, and I know that they were really anxious to play this second game against you guys here tonight. This was a big win for your team. Just talk about the momentum that this one builds for you playing against a really quality opponent here tonight.
It gives a lot of motivation to our guys to know that we can make mistakes and still win games. And like I said, at this point in the season, that's all that matters. If we continue to play together and get these tough wins like tonight, we should be all right going into the conference tournament.
Now, we've talked a lot about the improvement that Tamir Glenn has been, and we'll get to his shot in just a moment, but I thought the player that maybe impacted this game the most was the player on your left, in Colton Bishop.
Yes.
Colton this season maybe has not maybe been the offensive force that he's been in seasons past. He's done a lot of other really good things for this team, but he seemed like he took this game on himself down the stretch, made some big plays for you guys, had that one possession where he had 4 straight points, and then in overtime really, again, just emotionally lifted this team.
Yes, and Colton's one of our leaders. He's one of our spiritual leaders as well. Sometimes it can get hard, and we look to Colton to lead us a lot of times, regardless of him not scoring a basketball or whatever. He's a big part of this team, a big piece of what we do, and if it wasn't for him, a lot of these games would really go down the tube. So these 2 guys that are beside me, man, I got a lot of love and faith in these guys, and we're going to need these guys night in and night out if we plan on winning the championship.
Now, we've talked about it seems like every night, about the improvement that Tamir has made and the leap that he made offensively as a leader, having to replace Nash Carter as the team's primary scorer this season. Talk about that play call at the very end of regulation, because it seemed like almost going back to NCAA tournaments past with Valparaiso, the little catch and shovel pass, and then Tamir made a big-time shot.
Yes, I actually stole that play from Coach Prosser, rest his soul. And I just drew it up because I knew at one point if we can catch anybody making a mistake trying to cheat, we was going to get somebody open streaking up the court. And what better guy than Tamir? I also had to get Colton involved in that play to make the pass. So I put my 2 key guys in position to win the game or get us into overtime.
And then lastly, Coach, going into overtime, so much energy in this building. It could have been really easy for your team to come out way overhyped up and then make some mistakes and let Warren Wilson back into this game. But I thought they settled down and were able to put this game away, playing really well despite all the energy and the emotion in the building.
Oh, yeah, Warren Wilson is definitely a team that I've watched over the past 2 years since I've been here, and they've grown as a team. Coach has done a great job over there and getting those guys coached well, and I mean they was able to handle the pressure. And like you said, with their schedule earlier in the season, they're used to games like this, and we knew that coming in.
So this was a big win for you guys tonight, 101-98, the final score. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir. Who you want to talk to first?
Why don't we talk with Tamir first? We'll talk about that big shot at the end of regulation. So again, 101-98, the final score here tonight as the Bruins rally, trailing by as many as 6 in the final 60 seconds of this game, but able to rally back. And the man who made it happen at the end of regulation is the one joining us on the headset right now. That's Tamir Glenn. Tamir, why don't we get right to it? Talk about the play call coming out of the timeout that got you the basketball and an opportunity to tie this game and send it to overtime.
Man, I knew it was going to work. It's just about executing. If I could get it past the big defender, they had him swarming me, and I knew if I found Colton, then we would make a play, and the best would come out of it.
What was going through your minds as this game went along? At about the 10-minute mark, you led this game by 12, and it looked like you were going to put this one away pretty easily, but then they got a spurt together. You guys missed some shots and didn't really convert at the free throw line. What's going through your heads? What are you guys trying to say to each other to calm everybody down, to keep yourselves in the game?
First off, I told them we were playing too much. Like, we took the game lightly because we blew them out at their house. But as it was going on, I was like, man, we got to keep working and keep working. And then they ended up getting a lead, and I was like, we're going to have to bust our tails to get back.
It was a big-time rally. You guys trailed by 6 with 60 seconds left to play in this game. That's a long way to come back in less than a minute. So a big-time rally. And then in overtime, we were just talking about it with Coach, there was so much energy. It was so loud in here. What were you guys trying to say to each other to keep everybody calm in the overtime period? Because it would have been real easy for you to come out way overhyped and then start missing shots and making mistakes out here.
We felt the energy, but all of us were focused. We wasn't, like, we fed off of it, but we knew how much to take in and how much to feed off of it.
And how much of an impact does the crowd make in a situation like that? It was so loud in here.
Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. We needed to miss one. The crowd did the job. We missed one free throw. We were able to hit the shot.
Big time win for you guys tonight. Tamir, congratulations, finishing with 21 points on the night.
Thank you, thank you.
Tamir Glenn, one of our co-players of the game here tonight, as the Bruins rally again from down 6 in the final minute of regulation to tie the game on Tamir Glenn's buzzer beater, send this game into overtime. And then in overtime, the Bruins able to knock off the Owls here tonight, 101-98. Now our co-player of the game, Colton Bishop, joins us. Colton, it's your first time with us this season.
Yeah.
We were talking about it with Coach Howard a few minutes ago that maybe compared to last season, you haven't had quite the impact maybe in the scoring column as you've had in previous seasons. But you've done a lot of other things for this team, whether it's rebounding, defending, whatever the case is. But it seemed like in the last couple of minutes of this game, you kind of put this on your shoulders and said, you know what, I'm not letting us lose this game tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We thought we probably should have been up a bit more throughout the game, and disappointed that it had to go to overtime. But that's something you learn from a young age. You can do other stuff on the floor other than just score. So hopefully I bring that to this team. I think I did tonight, but way to fight back in there. It was good.
Absolutely. So. Talk about the leadership that you kind of provide for this group. You're the one player that's really kind of been through the wars with this team over the last couple of seasons. What do you try to tell some of these young guys? Because you got so many guys that have not been in these kind of environments before that are playing really for the first time at this level.
Yeah.
How do you try to help them through games like this?
Yeah, definitely. I'm the old head on the team. They're always making fun about my knees and this and that being sore. But basically, I just tell them to play hard every single possession, whether it's something good they do, whether it's something bad, just have a next play mentality. And play as hard as you can, because that's how you get through the mistakes, is just playing through them. So. And
how much fun is it to play in an environment like this tonight, especially as that game got tight at the end and it got real loud in here and then in the overtime too? How much fun is it to play in a game like this?
Yeah, I love it. I love this gym. I love the fans, the support you get from all the way the students to the professors to just cafeteria people. So I love playing here. It's a lot of fun. So yeah.
You still got a few more games left in this building. Let's make the most of them.
Definitely. Hey, and I want to shout out Marywood Christian Camp real quick. I was counselor over there this summer. I got a lot of my supporters over here. Best camp, come learn about God's Word and make some friends. So shout out Marywood.
It's Colton Bishop. Thanks so much for joining us.
Right.
101-98, the final score. The Bruins again rally late in regulation, win it in overtime, 101-98 over the Owls here tonight. And that's going to do it for us as we take a look at very quickly the leading scorers in the ball game. Tamir Glenn finishing with 21 points was one of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double figures for the Bruins. 21 for Glenn, 12 for Antoine Robinson. Curtis Coleman also with 12. China Jones with 11. Check that, 7 players in double figures for the Bruins. Colton Bishop finishing with 12, 10 of those in the second half. And then Robert Parks also with 10 points in the game for the Bruins to round out the scoring. 101-98 was the final as the Bruins again win it here tonight. 20 points in the game for Justin Storr to lead the Owls, and Jordan Gant right behind him with 19, but none over the final 9 minutes and into overtime. So 101-98 is the final score as the Bruins pick up the win here tonight over the Owls from Warren Wilson College to sweep the season series from this Warren Wilson College team. A big win here tonight for the Bruins, and want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on the Bruins Sports Network. For our engineer Mason Cox, our producer Erica Washburn, our camera operator Adrian Gonzalez, and our PA announcer Matt Malin, I'm Dave Shook, once again reminding you the final score, 101-98. The Bruins win it in overtime over Warren Wilson College, and you saw it all right here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Good night, everybody.